Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode Season 2. In between episodes, we hit 10,000 subscribers! Woo! So thank you everybody for subscribing. Thank you for all the likes, thank you for all the lovely comments. I just read the comments on the post that I posted on my community page. Really thank you so much. I love creating content and I keep on wanting to do this. So just keep on what you're doing and we'll get there eventually. So I wanted to do a live stream in between here while I hit 10,000 subscribers, but my throat has been killing me all weekend and it's kind of okay-ish right now. I still have to cough sometimes, but it's getting better. So we will do probably a live stream today to celebrate the 10,000 subscribers. And I also have a special video in mind, but I still need a few days to work on it, so it will be coming soon. The next step in getting the tier 6 seeds that we are kind of striving towards is to get the elite crafting table, but that is going to require a humongous amount of steps to get there. Like we need to go through all of this, through all of this, through all of this, through all of this, through all of these, which require each of them separate machines. We need to automate the carpenter or make an advanced carpenter or thermionic fabricators, which we could probably just get into the advanced fabricators because that's going to be easier and faster. But I want to do a little bit of blood magic today. I was feeling magic-y today when I woke up, so I think we're going to do this. And what I'm just making is blank runes, because I think we can get to tier 4 with the blood altar without having any sort of sacrificial killing, any sort of sacrificial altar, anything. I just have an insane amount of hearts here, and I just sit here and right-click, and then they get regen and saturated back to full, and it's kind of just nice because I can just do this, fill up the altar quickly, and then it just does blank slates. So I think if we use our sigil, we are at tier 4 now. So I think what we'll do is we'll just take our Yeta wrench and disable this up extract. I'm going to say active with signal. We can even just put a lever right down here for the moment so we can turn it on and off. Lovely. So this should just stay in here and make a demonic slate. And there we go. We have our first demonic slate, which I think is a quest. Is it not? Blood magic? It is not. We need the blood altar. We need 28 blank runes in our... Okay, sure thing. That can be done. $28. Lovely. Okay, loot chest. And then we need a master blood orb. Did I make the... Do I have the other orb in here? I do have the magician's orb in here. Okay, we don't need the thaumium block. Right. Right. So we need the master orb, which I believe is a weak blood shard and 40,000 LP. So a weak blood shard, we have a couple of those, but we do not have 40,000 LP. We currently have a max of 18,000 in here. So we need a few capacity runes, which aren't that difficult to make. We just need these with the imbued slate and a bunch of buckets. I have upgraded the altar a little bit. I added a couple of self-sacrifice runes and just a whole bunch of capacity runes. We have a total of 16, which brings our capacity to 42,000 LP. And apparently it passively drains LP. That is interesting, but we're going to toss this in. We can even stay here and keep it filled up if we need to. But that should eventually, if we do a little bit of a speedy up thing, it should turn into a master blood orb. So we can keep on holding down right click like this, and we get a master blood orb. Lovely. So tier 4 finally complete. And I know I'm going to get comments in the comment section saying, you can do the self-sacrifice with the incense altar thing. This guy, I know you can do that, but I just didn't want to, okay? So it's easy enough to do it this way because we have the super regen. Normally that altar is very nice because you right click once and then it like fills up your altar through all of the incense that you have, and that makes it really neat. But we just did it this way, okay? So let's go into the quests here. We can claim this one and claim this one. And I didn't open the last one on camera and I didn't get anything special because we don't get too many special things from these loot crates anyway. Okay, so the next thing is rituals. Do you remember how we went to that magical forest to craft stuff from Thaumcraft? Well, in between episodes, I think it was on live stream, it might not have been, but I made the workbench charger, which gives us 2000 V always available. So what we can do is we can take 3 sets of these, and there is lag. Oh, there we go. And that, and flint, and a bow. And we get Celis Mundus. Is there a better way of making Celis Mundus? I don't think there is. No, it's just that. Okay, so this should make us a stack. Oh, there it goes. Okay. The next thing that we need for the ritual is the Ritual Diviner, which requires 4 elemental inscription tools, and I have items prepared for all of these. And can I do a bit of speedy upness so this will be done a bit quicker? There we go. That is the Fire Elemental Inscription tool. Then we need the Earth, I believe. Yep. And then the Air. And Water. We'll do another speedy up bit. There we go. And then we need 2 of these, which should be the Dusk, I think. Yes. And with that, we can make ourselves a Ritual Diviner. I have to figure out which everywhere goes. Which everywhere goes. That is English. English magical. Boom. Ritual Diviner. And then to upgrade it to the Dusk, we need 2 demonic slates. And here we go. We can upgrade it to Ritual Diviner Dusk. Then the next thing is the weak activation crystal, which is going to require the lava crystal, which is a few buckets and just an orb. Okay, so bucket of lava of any variety. Boom. And we're going to toss you in here. Turn this guy off, grab the slate, toss you in here, and then a bunch of blood. And here we go. The weak activation crystal. I think I can right click it to bind it to myself. And this guy can be shift right clicked to show you which of the rituals it can make. And we need the Well of Suffering. And here it is. The Well of Suffering requires 36 total ritual stones and also a master ritual stone. And we're going to set it up right underneath the altar. I'm going to figure out how far I have to place it. I'm going to dig a room and we can set up a spawner or maybe some witches or maybe even iron golems that we heal up. I don't know. We'll see. I decided to just make the entire altar a bit more pretty, and I used the path blocks from Blood Magic, which you can make very easily with just the orbs and a bit of wood and a bit of stone. So the basic path is made from planks, and the, I believe, second tier orb is you need for this, and then you can just combine it to make the tiled path. This one is for stone and an orb, and then combine it to make the tiled stone path. This one is the next tier orb to make the worn stone brick, and then the tiled worn. And this one is the tier 5 to make the obsidian, which we're not there yet. And then you can also make a tiled version of that as well. So I just decided to go with these. It makes it kind of nice and pretty. And we can even take a bit of, let's say, this worn stone brick path, like so. And we can put it on our exchanging gadget. Zoop. And we can go around and kind of like texturize everything and make it look nice and broken up, because, you know, texturizing always makes things look better. I also decided to make some stairs over here, which are from Architecture Craft, and also these corner stairs. You have the, in the Architecture's workbench, I think it's called, saw bench. You can go into the other tab and you can see this is the corner stair and then the regular stair. And you can even make an inverted corner stair if you wanted to. Okay. So we have a lovely, pretty altar, and in here we have a room that I've lit up with our super duper illumination wand that I made on livestream, which is basically like a torch placer from Astro Sorcery, and you can right click same block to remove it and right click to place it. Okay, so I want to try one thing. We're going to grab a bit of iron and some pumpkins. And I want to see if we set up our environmental controller somewhere possibly underneath here. We're going to put it right here for the moment. And we need to set it from, let's say, Y66, which is where we're at, up to Y83. That's fine. It couldn't just even be like Y70 or so. Yeah, it doesn't need to be that much. So let's do 70 and 66. There we go. And we're going to say whitelist, blacklist, affect hostile passive mobs, affect passive mobs. Needs more power. That's fine. You're using 610 RF attack. That is perfectly fine. And we're going to place a iron golem. And I want to place him in such a way where we can't kind of escape. So let's grab just some regular stone brick path, just so we can fill all of this in. Just so we can get a nice working area for us to do this. And we're going to place some fences right here, and then possibly right over here like this. And I believe we can assemble an iron golem here if we remove this fence here. And that should make us an iron golem. Cool. I'm going to push you in a little bit. And we're going to take that. And we have the healing and saturation, which doesn't need to be saturation. I think we just can have the regeneration, which halves our it halves our environmental controller RF cost. And I'm going to try and activate the ritual. You need 50,000 LP in your system or in your network or whatever it is called, which you can check by clicking your divination sigil right here. We have 66,000, and we're going to right click to activate. So he's taking damage, being healed up right away, and we should be getting blood in here. Yeah. Life essence, and it's constantly being drained because of filling the, I believe, internal buffer, or maybe it's using it directly for the ritual. So we should be dropping here a little bit. Yeah, we're slowly dropping. So what if we place a few more fences and a few more golems? In the book here for Blood Magic, it says that the ritual will deal 1 HP per entity and place 25 LP into the altar, 100 for peaceful animals. And I'm not sure if iron golems count as peaceful mobs, because I think they should be, but I'm not sure. So I think what we can do to make it a bit of a different thing that we did last time, because last time I believe we had iron golems, we're going to put cows in the corners over there, or in the corners and 4 sides even. And we're going to put a 5x5 grass path, and we can just set some cows down on them and have them just passively give us LP. As these cows are gonna go through a whole lot of pain, they need a super fancy fence, and they also need super fancy grass. So we're gonna put 4 cows in here, like so and like so. And I tested, so everywhere they are, they should... No, why can you... Architecture craft. You made a fence that mobs can walk over. Well, rip architecture fence plan. Oh well, treated wood fence it is. You don't get any of the fancy stuff because apparently you can walk over it, but they're all already trying to escape. No escape for you. You're gonna provide me all of your life essences. And it's very mean. I'm hurting you and I'm healing you. I'm being a bad person and a good person at the same time. Right, now let me quadruple these and put them all in the corners and then get rid of the golems. So I recorded a time lapse, and the time lapse was just stuck on this open terminal screen because I alt-tabbed in between to put on some music while I was working on stuff, and it just got botched. So you're not gonna see it, pretty much. So we did a bunch of building. We quadrupled the cows, as I said, and I built in the floors, put in some lamps, even built in the ceiling, which looks really, really cool. And I also made a mana blaster, which can shoot mana blasts. If you right click, it drains a little bit of mana to do so every time, but it shoots mana blasts. And then you can combine this with mana lenses, and this one is the mana lens flash, and it is also red tinted, and you can tint it with different floral powders that you can make from different flowers. And basically, the mana blaster here is kind of like a torch placer, which is really cool. It uses mana and places nice little flares, which in my opinion look better than torches. And we don't even have to use the torch launcher anymore. So this can go just chill in the system. Cool. So we are getting lots and lots of blood, and it's constantly killing the cows because it's constantly draining the blood from the Well of Suffering. And we can control this a little bit. I believe we can use a red string comparator. I don't know if it's gonna reach all the way up to the altar though. The red string comparator totally does work, but we need to go through a phantom face, and specifically a phantom liquid face, because the altar is really, really far away, and the red string comparator just won't reach if we face it upwards through the Master Ritual Stone and through that sea lantern up top. So we're just gonna have a liquid face controlling here for everything. And what we need to set up here now is an automatic system for restocking of slates. I was thinking what kind of system we should use to keep a stock of all of the different slates in here in these drawers, and then I remembered XNet is a supremely powerful mod, and you can detect on each of the drawers, which we're gonna do by putting this XNet connectors right here on the bottom. We're also gonna have an interface right here providing us living rock, and then we're gonna have another connector right here on this guy, and then we're just gonna run a cable. We can probably just do this. It's going to be easiest. We don't even need a basement then. So we can do something like this. Build that back in. Like, oh, that's why it didn't work. Okay. So that should be all connected. We then need a controller somewhere. And I'm thinking this could be a good spot for it on this side. So we're just going to run another cable right back here. And that's going to be a flare again. We can do something like this, and then we need a connector here. We're also gonna need some power, so I have the environmental controller right here on the back, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna just sneak into here in the back, put the power and the environmental controller right like so. I hope I didn't lose any cows in the process. I think we're good. Okay, so what we can do in the controller here, first of all, we need an extract on energy here, and then an insert in here, and I believe we can do just something like this just to kickstart it, and then we're gonna give this guy the controller back, and now we should have power. Lovely. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to set up a sensor to detect how many slates are in this drawer, and we're gonna set it to, let's say, 512, and then we need to extract living rock into the altar, which is going to be up there up top, which is connected to this phantom face. So that should be the connection that we need. And then we need to extract the slates into the interface, which we can do easily because that's going to go to our system. Actually, we don't need to extract into the interface. We need to extract back into the drawer. That's fine. The way we're going to keep it in the system is with this drawer controller. We're going to add a storage bus right here. And we're just going to do that and set priority to like 10. I decided to just set it up pretty much for everything here. So let me explain. We have a sensor for items, and it's going to detect when it's less or equal than the amount that we want to keep. And then for blank slates, and it's going to output on red. And that is going to trigger this extract, which is going to extract a single item, which is going to be living rock, out of the interface right here. And it's going to keep one in the destination inventory. And then we just have an insert on the phantom face, which is the altar. So as long as we have less than 512 of blank slates, it's going to keep on extracting or trying to extract one living rock into the system. And then over here, it's going to try to extract blank slates into the altar. And we can even just have this. We need to have this filtered. Otherwise, it's just going to loop living rock. So we're going to grab one of each of the slates. I have the imbued, a reinforced, and a blank. And we're going to say an extract, blank slate, reinforced slate, imbued slate, demonic slate. Like so. I figured out the next part in our system, which is detecting when the altar does not have a master blood orb inside of it. And we're going to then trigger on the purple right here. And we're going to trigger an extract out of this mini chest. And we're going to extract the master blood orb into the altar right here. So if we set up the orb right in here, it should only go inside of the system as soon as we stop crafting. And apparently we have a demonic slate in here for some reason. I don't know why, but maybe some of the extracts weren't working. Anyway, that is gonna pretty much work. The only part that I didn't figure out is how do we detect when we run out of slates to extract the orb back out. So I'm censoring on all of these sensors for all of the different things, and I would assume an extract on the altar, let's say right here. I don't even know why we have this insert. So an extract, let's say right here, could be an option to enable it on 4 different colors, and then we insert back into the chest with the orb. I tried it, it didn't work. So if you have any ideas, please let me know down in the description of how we can do this. I have ideas how we can do it outside of XNet, but if we can solve it with XNet, which I hope we can, it's going to make it look just so much cleaner and much, much nicer. But that is going to have to be it for today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. You can also subscribe to see new videos. You can support me on Patreon and on Twitch if you want to play with me on a server. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great one. Bye-bye. Also, I'm sorry the video delay was late. Okay, bye.